we are pleased to present the Kerrafront cladding. Kerrafront is a modern facade cladding that does not require any maintenance during its use. The product is appreciated both by homeowners and installers. The use of innovative Kerracore technology allowed us to combine aesthetic and functional values in the product. Thanks to the low weight of the panels, large area covered, built-in locks and ready-made openings, the product is appreciated for its easy and quick installation. Kerrafront is an easy-to-process material, resistant to damage, cracks and splinters. The product is completely waterproof. It does not absorb water and thus prevents the growth of bacteria and fungi. Moreover, it is characterized by high resistance to mechanical damage. It is a finished product that does not require painting or maintenance. Depending on the degree of soiling, in order to maintain its appropriate look, we recommend cleaning the facade once a year with mild cleaning agents. The Kerrafront system offers a few collections, and as well as the finishing accessory system, they are available in several colors. Wood-like collections include Wood Effect. A collection of veneered panels is available on single boards FS201 and quadruple boards FS304 in 4 colors. Rustic Collection, made in color blend technology, is available on single boards FS201 and double boards FS202 in 3 colors. And Wood Design is available in 3 colors on the single boards FS201. Among the collections in uniform colors, we have Modern Wood in 7 colors on modern FS302 double boards and FS304 quadruple boards. Trend on a wide single board FS301 in 8 colors in versions with soft and stone effect. Retro on a double board FS202 with a deep wood structure, available in 4 colors. And Classic, available in 9 colors on single boards FS201 and double boards FS202. Installation of the system is simple, clean, and it is carried out using the basic assembly tools. It is best to use a fine-toothed saw to cut the panels and strips. The saw blade should be placed in the normal position, the same as for cutting wood. The panels are very easy to work with. They are lightweight, rigid, and they do not produce dust during cutting, so they do not require special precautions. Kerrafront can be installed in different conditions, even at high air humidity and at a wide range of ambient temperatures. Before installation, the panels should be left for at least 24 hours to adapt to the ambient temperature. The final result depends on how well we prepare the wall before installation. The wall should be perfectly smoothed and protected against moisture. The panels should be mounted on a frame made of wooden battens. The battens should be placed at intervals of maximum 40 centimeters. However, for light colors such as white, cream, beige, claystone, light gray, sand and ivory, and pearl gray from the Modern Wood collection, maximum every 60 centimeters. The battens directly behind the facade cladding should always provide an appropriate ventilation gap behind the panels. Therefore, for panels in light colors such as white, cream, beige, claystone, light gray, sand, as well as ivory and pearl gray from the Modern Wood collection, we use 2 cm thick battens. For the other colors, we use 4 cm thick battens. The installation begins with cutting and installation of finishing trims. Before the assembly, we drill the bottom parts of the trims in order to facilitate their installation. In order to ensure proper ventilation, the distance from the ground surface should be kept. The panels and trims should be installed at the distance of at least 15 centimeters. We start the assembly from the bottom parts of the vertical trims. Then we install the horizontal trims between them. The level of the starter trim is set using a piece of the panel and spirit level. At the top of the wall, we install the bottom part of ventilation trim FS262. Between the vertical and horizontal trims, we should keep the expansion joints of about 2 centimeters. Both the starter trim and the ventilation trim should be carefully leveled. In external and internal corners, we use the same trim, the universal corner FS222, which accelerates the installation and reduces the amount of waste. Trims should be firmly attached to the substructure at intervals of about 30 centimeters. When cutting the panels to the desired length, remember to take into account the expansion joint in the trims and the ambient temperature. The expansion joint depends on the length of the panel and changes together with the ambient temperature. On average, we give 3 millimeters of dilation for each running meter of the wall. We start the assembly of panels from the bottom by placing the panel on the starter trim. The panel does not require leveling, just make sure that it is properly seated on the starting trim and the expansion joints have been maintained. Once seated, the panel adheres rigidly to the load-bearing structure, which makes it easy to fix. The panels are fixed using the inox wood screws. The length of the screws should be adjusted to the thickness of the battens. The screws should always be fixed at least 10 millimeters from the edge of the mounting hole, and they should not be tightened, so that the panel can work under the influence of the changing ambient temperature. When it is not possible to ensure the appropriate distance between the screw and the edge of the mounting hole should be appropriately enlarged. The easiest way is to drill it at the edge. In the corners, it is worth using a double batten to give yourself more space to attach the panels in the mounting holes. Each next panel is mounted in the same way. After being fixed on the locks, the panels do not require leveling and no additional help is needed when installing them. The locks of the panels ensure a tight, impermeable facade surface. Usually, the last panel needs to be cut. Measure the necessary height of the panel. The measure should be done from the trim to the top edge of the second last panel. The panel should be fixed on the edge so that the head of the screw holds the cut edge. If it is necessary to obtain a uniform surface with the remaining panels, we use washers on the entire length of the panel. The remains of the panels work well. Do not drive the screw through the panel, because it will prevent the panel from working under the influence of temperature. After installing the last panel, all you have to do is to attach the top parts of the finishing trims. The trims should be attached using a rubber hammer or through a wooden batten. There are following ways of joining panels. For 2.95 meter panels, we use the Connex system installation. For 6 meter long panels, we use J connectors or H-trim FS282. In the Connex system, the connection is made with the use of built-in locks, which enables much faster and easier installation without the need for visible accessories. In order to compensate for tensions that may occur during installation and limit the possibility of shrinkage and expansion of the panels, fix the ends of the joint panels to a piece of batten. A piece of batten should be approximately 1 centimeter thick, and its edges should be at least 5 centimeters away from the nearest vertical batten to allow for the panels to move freely. For the same reason, for the installation of a piece of batten, shorter screws must be used, which are screwed in the space outside the mounting hole. connex connections should always be made between the vertical battens. A properly made connex joint is stable, allows for expansion and contraction of the panels, and is almost invisible. The new Connex 2 click and push solution is perfectly matched to the FS304 quadruple panels. Remember to keep a minimum distance of 40 cm between connections in consecutive rows of panels. The panels with a length of 6 meters we connect using joint cover J or the two-part center joint trim FS282. Connections with connectors should be planned on the battens. The design of the J connectors enables the automatic keeping of a 9 mm distance between the joint panels, which enables them to expand. When using joint covers J, remember about their aesthetic layout and keeping distances of minimum 40 cm between the joint cover in the preceding row and the joint cover in the next row. For walls longer than 10 meters in the case of 2.95 meter long panels or 18 meters in the case of 6 meter long panels, it is necessary to use the two-part center join trim FS282 in order to provide additional dilation. The location of the center joint trim FS282 should be planned on a vertical batten before panels are installed. It is best to install the trim on a double batten to give yourself more freedom by fixing the panels. Screw the bottom part of the trim to the vertical batten. Then we fasten the panels. Keep an expansion distance of 10 mm from the inner edge of the strip. After installing the panels, fasten the top part of the trims. After installing the top parts of the finishing trims, the facade is ready for use. It does not require any additional finishing works or silicone installation.